Hi guys, this is Dandilion Song, and it's 9/21/2015. So a viewer, thank you Timothy, I hope you don't mind a shout out, asked me about this place and asked me if it was on the Philae line, and it's not on the Philae line, but it's on another line, and it's in a very interesting part of France that has to do with the Cathars. Now here in the Wikipedia it doesn't really mention the Cathars specifically, but it does talk about, let me scroll down here, it does talk about battles that happened around the time of the Albigensian Crusade, and in that crusade the Spanish king did fight on the side of the Cathars. Now I don't remember which number of Peter it was that fought and died on the side of the protecting the Cathars, and the Cathars were protected by the royalty of the south of France, and then what happened is the Pope turned the northern royalty against, I'm just scrolling down here while I talk, against the south of France, and promised them that they could have, they could have the real estate if they conquered it. And so they basically killed all of the Albigensians. Now the interesting, or all the Alba, which is, now Albi is basically meaning a small white elfish person. So it's very interesting, and the Cathars had, I have a bunch of videos about the Cathars religion and why the Catholic Church hated the Cathars. Mostly it was because the Cathars treated women as equals, and also they discouraged their followers from taking oaths. And as we can see, oaths and patriarchy has been the mainstay of the Vatican domination. So I just wanted to, even though I didn't find exactly, and I didn't read totally carefully. Now this I believe is before the Albigensian, so it could be, this all could have happened before. So I have to look at that a little closely. But the interesting thing about this place that makes me think that it's Cathar, has a Cathar base, I'm going to show you this, is that there's a bird there, and the Cathars put birds in their cities. So let me show you what this is about, because I actually don't know. Let's find out together. It's a Roman Catholic, oh no, it's on Good Friday. Okay, so the masked robe is used to protect the identity of prisoners being led to their town's annual execution. They didn't want them to get hurt before they executed them. That's a nice Catholic thing, right? That's nice. Okay. That's what that's about. That's all right. I guess it could be worse. So this is also here, the Cathedral of St. John the Baptist. Now this is St. John the Baptist is the one that's often shown with a holding a chalice that has a snake in it. Okay, so this could be, it actually doesn't look like a Cathar church to me. So that must be a different kind of a word. I thought it was going to reference a Catholic church. I mean a Cathar church. But one of the more interesting side notes that was mentioned by Timothy was that during a visit in 1963, the Spanish surrealist Salvador Dali declared that the city's railway station was the center of the universe, saying he always got his best ideas sitting in the waiting room. So maybe this is on a ley line. Well, it is very near a Cathar heading that's pointed to by another castle, Paulilaurens, and they are very sensitive to ley lines, so he could have really noticed this ley line that might be right under here. So he says he has a vision of cosmogonic ecstasy there on September 19th, 1963, and I just want to point out all the nines right here, 99999. So let's just go take a look at this bird here. So I'll just show it to you in Google Earth right here in the south of France. And here's the line that it's on. I'll show you how far, where we are compared to the Philae line. It's hard to see, but if you look at Palatine Hill and Lago Averno, that and Cerne, that is the line, that's the Fillet line right there. And then, but over here we have a lot of Cathar cathedrals that are pretty amazing. And oh, I don't have a name. Oh yeah, this is Paulilaurens, Rennes-le-Château, and Montségur, and we know that there are a lot of alignments, and Carcassonne points to Lago Averno, which is on the Fillet line. Rennes-le-Château points almost, oh no, it's Paulilaurens, sorry, I keep misspeaking myself. I don't know if I found an alignment from this going in that direction. And I found alignments from Montségur going in another direction, but I think I worked on this one first and I didn't look in this direction going towards the Fillet line over here. But so the Paulilaurens comes over here, and you could see these parallel lines. We need to look at these islands, but it comes to this place. And this place, I believe, yes, this place is mentioned as in a it's like an Iliad. It's one of these ancient, it's one of these Greek stories that I'm not familiar with, where basically a god washes up on shore here, and it's very beautiful. There's some very beautiful beach caves there, lending a lot of credence to something you know, mythological or important could have happened there. So that's where that points, and I'm just paying attention to these because the Cathars went to a lot of trouble to point their castles in certain places, along certain places. So here we go. Let's look at this. This is this little town. Now you could see there is a dove flying. I'm going to say it's a dove just because since we're in the Cathar region, I'm not for sure that this is a dove. But there's a face of a dove flying in this direction. See the beak? A lot of 22s here. There's also a dove flying basically towards the camera. A little harder to see this one, so I'm going to probably draw that one out for you. And there's a few others here. But you can see that there's a very classic shape. Like there's this beak here, and then there's kind of the more of the heavier shape of the dove right here with this head, and then these wings. Now, you can't, if you just go into a random city, you can't find a bird everywhere. So I know you might think that I'm seeing things. This is actually a time-lapse bird. It's actually it looks like they went to a lot of trouble here to make this very complete and perfect. One of your clues that there's going to be a picture is when they build these inner houses according to their boundaries, along the lines of their boundaries, rather than just along a grid with the street going through it. So when you see these these houses are basically arranged like feathers or some other kind of internal structure, like I saw in Paris, the phoenix over there, who's over the Christ child's head in Paris, they even have leg feathers on that bird, and they make it out of the houses. So that's one of your clues when you're coming in on looking at one of these places, whether someone has gone to the trouble to draw something there or not. So you might be able to see this bird, but all right, we'll draw it now. you like that. There's a lot of birds in here. Some of them look like phoenixes. The one with his face up to the top looks like a phoenix. I also was noticing there are some more drawings down here. I don't think we can ignore this. It looks like a fallen head with a horn on it. So I'm not sure exactly what that is. Probably there's some clues in the numbers and in the names over there. Often I see eyes. I see the dove or the bird flying with holding or pulling an eye somewhere in here. And this has to do with the eye cosmology of our world, and that the Cathars perceive the dove or the Holy Spirit as protective of the eye cosmology of our world, but also the people in their dream form, the ego aspect of the eye. So anyway, I kept looking at this. I think this could be an eye right here. Show it to you. So just wanted to point that out. I didn't draw that in there. And then here we have another face. So I don't know. Like it does look like a face. So I guess to confirm this, you would see, you know, if the names are helping you understand that that is a face. Because it looks like it would be coming out of something here. Maybe an egg, you know, if we're going along with the bird theme. I'm not sure. All right, well, this has been interesting here. This, I would say the main heading of this dove's beak is going to be this direction. So let's take a heading here. Oops. So that's the 6-6. It looks like a 666 heading. Let's see where that goes. Alright, so I'm just going to draw this line. I'll have to lay it down and come back and look at it later. Sure, I'm still on track. Where'd my 6-6 go? Well, because, let me see, is this my fillet line? Let me back out here and see what this is. I think this is the fillet line, or an aspect of the fillet line. I have two fillet lines. One of them I drew when I wasn't quite sure how to draw the lines yet, and I think this one that that the yellow line's pointing to right now is the real fillet line because it goes through Castle Sonio. This one I kept because oh, I know, this other one has adjustments of like a part of a degree or degree that include these sites, and this one on the right here goes straight from probably Philae all the way up to Stonehenge. And then in my final analysis of it, I thought that it wasn't accurately, also it's off on some of these sites, so I thought it wasn't accurately showing some of these sites because sometimes the really long ones are a little bit off on the heading or off on the curve. I'm still figuring out how to do this, you guys, but the reason why I'm stopping here is because of the the distance is 324.24 miles. It heads exactly to the Philae line and also to this city that's on the coast, and they do love they love the intersection of all of these type of borders. I'm just going to see really quick what it is if we put it right on the coast. So it's the 323. So I think that could be the 323 that I've been talking about in terms of the synagogue of Satan. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that the people who designed the city were bad. I think I'm going to leave it right here, actually. Let's put it right there. It doesn't necessarily mean that. Okay, I better get that. All right. Okay, what I want to say about that is that these numbers have been given to us, and all the numbers and all the symbols have been twisted and contaminated basically by various people. Like if it's a really good number, like I think the 88 was originally a good Christ number, a Christ intentional type of number, and it was taken over and darkened by the Nazis. And so they've done that. And the reason why they do that is so that there's just really no clear path about what is good or what is any path to follow. Well, so that's okay. Anyway, so we just need to realize that I don't think numbers in themselves are so much good or bad. I think that we need to pay attention to the symbols that they point to and try to learn to speak the language of them. So that's what I want to say about this. But let's just notice that it is a 23 mirror going both ways, and I do think that has to do with pi. So I'm going to take another look at that. All right, well, I hope you like this video. There's probably, let's just zoom out and see what else is possibly on this line as we zoom out. Kind of curious if it's going to go to Astana. Let's go out more. Sorry. Oh, there's Astana. Sorry. So, okay, so Astana's up here. So yeah, that's not going to go to Astana. There's probably some more interesting things on this line. But I'm going to stop it here and wish you guys a good day. And I hope you like this video. More interesting things in France, and we're just going to keep on studying, whether something happens or whether something doesn't happen. We're just going to keep on studying. Pretty soon we're going to be able to read these codes much more easily. All right, thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Oh, one postscript that I like to always mention whenever we find the 666 number is that 666 it's just a number of, I believe that this is how it's seen in the ancients see it, and this is a number, I think this is how the Freemasons see it too. It's just a number of balance. It's just as above, so below, and 6 is the below, it's the number of the field. In the Epic of Gilgamesh, the symbolism there is that 6 is the awakened person of the field, and 7 is the astral travel, and that the spirit of 76 is the ability to travel in spirit from the 6 to the 7 and the 7 back, and that has to do with freedom, with freedom from the dome without dying. And so that's why you see that spirit of 76 everywhere. That's why you have to develop a certain amount of consciousness to be able to consciously astral travel, and that's why they put those on gas stations, because there's the whole oil consciousness symbolism there. So 666 is we just have to keep remembering that the Vatican wrote Revelations, and we need to look at the older scriptures. So the way I see it is it's like a map. These are number maps of the dome. Now, people want to, oh my gosh, sorry, hold on. Oh, that was a good friend, so I'm glad I got to answer the phone. Sometimes I have to run to the phone and it's just a robot from school, so it's nice when a friend calls. All right, so I just wanted to tell you that haven't talked about this for a few videos, but the 666 has to do with the sixth dimension, and our world used to be in the sixth dimension, and that's why there's so many things that have been built on our world that we couldn't build today, is because they were built in the sixth dimension, and then they settled into the third when the accident in Atlantis, you know, dropped everybody into the third. And so the whole idea of this change that's coming up, this whole anticipation that people are feeling, is the restoration to the sixth dimension. So from that, so if you think of us as in the third dimension, if we might be in the fourth, I'm not sure. We're definitely lower than the sixth though. So the sixth is the right direction. It's the correct direction. Now, it must not be the end all and be all, because people who were in the sixth dimension in Atlantis, you know, did some wrong things. So there's probably still, you know, mistakes and wrong motivations that can be had in the sixth dimension. But I just want to put that perspective in there. Whenever you see the 666, you need to kind of relax all of your religious training around that word having to do with fear, because things that you have a fear reaction to, it's possible that if you just look at the symbolism and understand it, there's probably something behind there that you would like to know. And maybe something hopeful, you know, like restoration to the sixth dimension. That would be a hopeful thing for the earth. All right, I hope you liked this video. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.